Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Friday, November 19th, and this is going to be the NBA DFS video for today. So in this video, I'll be going over the recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about the injuries in play for tonight's slate, and then talking about my picks for both DraftKings and FanDuel for tonight's slate as well. But without further ado, we'll get into yesterday's picks, take a look at them, and see how they turned out. So hit or miss day once again. These short slates have been really rough so far this season, and it's not just for me. Even if you look at some of the top scores in the GPPs that I played as well, the top score was 296 points, so nobody was even over 300 yesterday on the DraftKings side. FanDuel, it's going to be a little bit higher just because you have that extra position, but no crazy breakaway scores. But we'll start off on the DraftKings side. So we had Raul Neto, $3,200 looking for 16 points on him. He got to 1.5, so he just had an assist in this game. Terrible night for him overall. 13 minutes. He got in foul trouble. I believe my buddy Dan said he had 3 fouls in the first couple minutes that he was actually in the game. So just didn't work out too well for him overall. Then at shooting guard, we had Darius Garland, $6,800, looking for 34 points on him. He got to 36.25, so he was a hit. Jimmy Butler, $9,500. We were looking for 48 points out of him. He got to 50.75, so he was a hit as well. Then moving down to Aaron Gordon. He was $5,300, looking for 27 points out of him. He got to 17.5, so he was a miss. Shot 4 for 13 from the field. Lost out in a couple minutes towards the end of the game due to a little bit of blowout. And then last but not least, we have Montrezl Harrell, $6,200, looking for 31 points out of him, got to 26.25. He was a miss. Just not the best night for him overall. He didn't really get as many rebounds as you would expect for somebody filling in, taking up a bunch of center minutes. A lot of those rebounds did go to Kyle Kuzma yesterday. So not the best day overall on the DraftKings side. It's 2 out of 5, but, we'll bounce back today for sure. Then on the FanDuel side, we had Darius Garland once again, $6,000, looking for 30 points on him. He got to 32.7, so he was a hit. Terrence Mann, who I did like quite a bit yesterday. I thought maybe he'd end up in that starting lineup. It ended up being Amir Coffey, $4,500. We're looking for about 23 points out of him. He was a mess. He played 24 minutes, only 2 for 9 shooting, ended up with 8.9 points. Just not a good day for him overall. Then at the small forward, once again, we had Jimmy Butler, $9,700, looking for about 49 points out of him, got to 54.1, so he was a hit. Then at power forward, we had Tobias Harris, $7,500, looking for 38 points out of him. He got to 34.4. He was a miss, but, kind of a just miss at that. He played 31 minutes. If there's that extra 4 minutes of blowout run towards the end of the game, probably hits this price tag pretty easily and what we were looking for out of him. Then last but not least, we had Zubac, who was $5,500, looking for 28 points out of him. He got to 26.4. Had a very nice start to the game. Didn't do too much in the second half, but he was a mess, but a just miss at that as well. So overall, not the best day, 2 out of 5 on both sites, but, on the 9-game slate tonight, we'll try to make up for it. But with that being said, we'll move over into the injuries in play for tonight. So like I already mentioned, it is a 9-game slate. This is one that is starting at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Once again, there's going to be 2 games right off the start. So we'll start off with the Golden State Warriors and the Detroit Pistons. Steph Curry is listed as questionable. He ended up playing yesterday, so I will assume that he's going to play again today. Andre Iguodala is still listed as questionable, but yesterday he was off due to rest, so I would assume he'd be back today. Then Klay Thompson and James Wiseman are both out. Once again, they have not played yet this season. Kelly Olynyk still out for the Detroit Pistons, and the Livers is a game-time decision. We're not too worried about him, though. Then for the Pacers, TJ Warren is out once again. Chris Duarte is questionable to play. Charlotte Hornets are still without P.J. Washington. Moving over to the Lakers, Austin Reeves, Kendrick Nunn, Trevor Ariza are all still out. LeBron James is questionable tonight, and at least they play an early game, so we should know this news sooner rather than later. Definitely going to help us out over on the slate. And then Anthony Davis is probable once again. For the Celtics side, Robert Williams and Jaylen Brown are both questionable game-time decisions. We'll see if they end up playing or not. Moving down to the Orlando Magic, we got Etuan Moore, Jonathan Isaac, and Markelle Fultz all still out. Jalen Suggs questionable to play, but he has not missed yet, and he's been kind of questionable the last couple games, so I will assume that he does play once again. Michael Carter-Williams, game-time decision. We'll see if he ends up playing or not. Brooklyn Nets without the same 4 guys once again, and Nick Claxton, Joe Harris, Kyrie Irving, and Paul Millsap. For the Clippers, it's probably going to get a little bit interesting tonight. Preston and Kawhi Leonard are out once again. Justice Winslow, Marcus Morris, Nick Batum, and Johnson are all listed as game-time decisions, so we'll just have to wait till some of that news comes out throughout the day. As always, I'll be listing all the injury updates throughout the day down in the comments as well. For the New Orleans Pelicans, just Zion Williamson out once again. For the Thunder, Trey Mann is questionable, but he did end up playing the last time. he's a very minimal piece in the rotation, so not really too worried about him from a DFS sense at least. The Milwaukee Bucks are just without Brook Lopez and Dante DiVincenzo once again. Chicago Bulls are without Patrick Williams and Nikolai Vucevic once again. And then Jalen Green and Alex Caruso are both game-time decisions, but likely to play. For the Denver Nuggets, Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. are both still out. Zeke Nnaji and Nikola Jokic are both questionable to play. I do assume Jokic plays, and if he plays, he's going to be one of the best plays overall on tonight's slate. Then for the Dallas Mavericks, Maxi Kleber's still out, and then Luka Doncic is doubtful to play once again tonight. The Phoenix Suns are without Dario Saric and Frank Kaminsky once again, so no changes there. For the Toronto Raptors, OG Anunoby is still out once again tonight. It sounds like he's going to be out for a little while now. Watanabe has not played yet this year. Listed as questionable, but I will assume that he's going to be out once again. And then Precious Achiuwa, questionable to play. We'll just have to see what ends up happening with him. And then last but not least, the Sacramento Kings are all the way healthy. So that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries in play for tonight's slate. There's a couple that we'll be watching out for, mainly some of these bigger names, the Steph Curry, LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, players like that. But at the same time, it could shake up the slate just a little bit. We'll have to see what all ends up happening throughout the day. But with that being said, we'll move over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So we're going to start off at the point guard position with Patty Mills, $3,800, looking for 19 points out. That's essentially what he's averaging on this season. I got him projected for 22 points tonight. He's been in that starting lineup, been playing more minutes, and he's been playing rather well. Then we'll move down to shooting guard. I got Gary Trent Jr., $6,000, looking for 30 points on him. That's exactly what he's averaging on the dot, oddly enough. Has a pretty good matchup tonight against the Sacramento Kings. He's been playing big minutes, and every time somebody's out of the starting unit, it seems like he always is playing just a little bit better. Then at small forward, we're going Josh Hart, playing big minutes as of late. $5,400, looking for 27 points out, almost what he's averaging so far on the season. I got him projected for about 29, 30 points tonight. And then at power forward, we got Kristaps Porzingis, $7,800. We're looking for 39 points out. I'm averaging about 38 on the season. Ever since Luka Doncic has been out, he's been over 40 pretty much every game. So, you're looking at a minimum of 40 here. I got him projected for about 42 tonight. Definitely has a little bit upside for more as well. Then on the opposite side of that game, we got DeAndre Ayton, $6,700, looking for 33, 34 points out of him. He's averaging almost 36 on this season. I got him projected for about 38 points tonight. But if you go with these 5 players over on the DraftKings side for tonight's slate, you have $20,300 remaining, just under $6,800 per player. So you could look to pay up for one stud and probably a couple of value plays. You could look to spread the wealth. A lot of different ways that we can approach it for tonight's slate. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So we're going to start off at that point guard position with Jalen Brunson, $6,500, looking for about 32, 33 points at him, averaging about 29 on the season, but he's been playing better without Luka Doncic, obviously, on the court. So he's going to be out there. He's going to be getting big minutes. I got him projected for 35 points once again tonight. Then at shooting guard, we're going right back to Patty Mills, $4,000, looking for about 20 points at him. He's averaging about 18 on the season. On the FanDuel side, I got him projected for about 21 points tonight. Definitely a very solid value play. And his price tags remain relatively low on both sites. Then once again, we're going to Josh Hart at $5,200, looking for 26 points at him, essentially what he's been averaging on the season. But like I mentioned on the DraftKings side, he's been playing big minutes. He's been playing rather well. So I got him projected for about 28, 29 points on the FanDuel side tonight. Definitely going to be one of the better value plays out there overall. And then you guys are probably sick of this name by now, but I'm going right back to Isaiah Stewart. He's only $5,000. Like, he's been playing over that price tag, and they're just not bumping him up for whatever reason. Don't need to listen to my whole spiel about how he's only power forward eligible on the FanDuel side. He's $5,000 still. You're looking for 25 points out of him. I got him projected for about 27, 28 points once again tonight, and he's been outperforming that price tag the last couple times out. So why not keep playing Isaiah Stewart until they bump his price tag up? Then last but not least, we're going to Nikola Jokic. We got $11,300 for him. So you're looking for about 56, 57 points out of him. Averaging about 55 on the season. Going to get the Chicago Bulls, who really only have Tony Bradley as a true center to oppose him. So it's going to be a very, very good night for Nikola Jokic as long as he's in that starting lineup and playing. And then with that being said, I have him projected for about 60 points tonight. Definitely has a lot of upside for more because he is Nikola Jokic. He could obviously be the top performer on the slate overall. But if you go with these 5 players on the FanDuel side tonight, you'll have $28,000 remaining, $7,000 per player. So you could definitely pay up for another stud, whether it's a Giannis Antetokounmpo, whether it's a Steph Curry, anybody like that, and then build the rest of your lineup from there. Or you can go with a little bit more balanced approach if that's something you want to do as well. But with that being said, these are my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, November 19th. As always, if you have any other questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I will answer them as quickly as possible. And then also be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's on DraftKings or FanDuel. And heck, like I mentioned yesterday, even if you want to throw Super Draft in there, that's fine as well. We can talk some Super Draft if that's something you're into. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you with your fantasy football teams. And then with that being said, if you are a new or current subscriber who's yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I upload a new video. And like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS videos just like this, as well as some fantasy football and NFL DFS content as well. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.